Girl, you know I'm a savage. They gon' let me in this club in these dirty vans. Clean money, I count stacks with these dirty hands. Do a show, caught the rack with my new advance. 50 bands, 80 bands, 100 bands. I'm the American dream. We the American dream. No money, no class, look at them. No money, now I'm in the Benz truck with a new honey. They said I wouldn't make it, I'm like, you funny. Laughing at my haters like, you.
It's Gurley Power. I'm Jonathan Coachman. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. I'll join you again at halftime to look at some of these stats and scores from earlier this afternoon. But for now, it's Sunday Night Football. And on the call, as always, Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley at Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. And we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, you take a look at these 49ers as they interplay here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Rams, they've got all W's on the ledger so far, a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, still a long way to go in this season, but they're showing everyone early on that they intend to be there in the end.
Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. They'll have Jimmy G calling the shots. Grew up in the northern suburbs of Chicago, went to Eastern Illinois. Jimmy Garoppolo.
And he did everything possible to rally his team to a win last week, didn't he? What did he throw for?
Over 450 yards.
I mean, that's a pretty phenomenal performance. So, obviously, he and the offense were clicking pretty well. The other 2/3, though, that comes into question. Defense and special teams, they'll need all of them to play better in this one, too.
They'll begin the drive with Breida. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. Okay, there's a tone setter. First play from scrimmage, stuff them in the backfield.
You know what they were doing last night in the hotel room? Visualizing exactly that. That's what they were thinking about. Making that play, having leverage, lower than the offensive lineman, getting into the offensive backfield, knocking someone down. Just what you said, set the tone early for this game.
Jeez, you are fired up.
When I see a play like that, I can't help it.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Defense had a chance to get off the field here on the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Samson Ebukam not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes, and just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Airing it deep for Garcon, and he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice, getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit.
And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Dominique Easley with a big-time sack on 3rd down. And it'll be a loss of 7.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long. Why are you calling play action?
Because they're not going to fight defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly. Yeah,
well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. He'll be tackled shy of the 35. Shifty footwork gets him a little extra on the play. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
And that was a good run. This was only one of 9 guys to go over 1,000 yards in 2017. And I think you can't let him run wild here.
What do you think, 100 yards, the measuring stick?
Always. That is the threshold. You want to keep him under that if you want to play good defense.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now.
What an advantage having an elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. And the trick play doesn't work. Good reaction there defensively, and it'll be 4th down. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. The last couple of drives have ended in punts. Maybe the crowd minds that, but you're a defensive guy. You're okay with a couple of punt drives.
Listen, I'm the guy that loves a 0-0 pitch game. All right, in baseball, I can handle that going into the 7th inning. I think the crowd, though, they want to see a little bit more excitement. Let's see if someone can break something free on offense and get going.
Offense at a premium the last 2 drives. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Over the middle, and he's got Goodwin complete. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Goodwin able to haul it in. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Garoppolo to Goodwin there for a 49er first.
We always hear about the connections some quarterbacks have with certain receivers. I think this guy has a connection with just about everyone. Didn't mind throwing it in there against double coverage to him.
Shows some confidence, supreme confidence.
Big-time confidence that he would make the play for him, and he did.
And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the 1st down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on 1st quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you break a tackle and turn into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
The numbers last week for Garcon: 6 catches, 84 yards.
And most teams mark down big plays as ones that gain 10 yards or more. He certainly has big playability, and we just saw it on.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Nickel Roby-Coleman.
And Brandon, the passing game for both of these teams is going to be affected as the game goes along. It's not looking like the rain's going to let up anytime soon. So that might mean a few more wobbly passes and wide receiver slips. And this one winds up getting intercepted.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. That's caught by his tight end, Gerald Everett. And down he'll go at the 25. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
How about the timing on that one? Boy, they were in sync, weren't they? 3-step drop, balls out of his hands, right to the tight end. Nice completion, just like they do it in practice.
He'll have a first down past the 40. And finally, down at the 41-yard line. It'll be a gain of 16 and give him a first down as well. Now, that tight end position, it just seems to continue to evolve every year in the NFL.
Yeah, you're getting really terrific athletes. A lot of them maybe were wide receivers at one point. They continue to give you speed, great hands, and big bodies, which make them excellent targets for quarterbacks.
The numbers a week ago for Everett. 6 catches, 70 yards, and a touchdown.
And they've gone to him early in this one. I sense a theme, one that I expect to continue throughout this contest.
Now on second down, this is Gurley. And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
This is caught. It's Cooks. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. First catch of the game for Cooks. It'll be a first down.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon. A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. On now is the big leg of Greg Zuerlein. He has hit from as far as 61 away in his career. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice, an ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this will remain a scoreless game.
I tell you, it's not easy kicking field goals in the best of conditions. Yeah, and in a downpour like we're in right now, it makes it that much harder. And sure enough, they can't convert here.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, force the incompletion. That allowed him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely frees up your guys elsewhere. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A good pickup there at 22. Garoppolo, 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a first down here. This is Breida. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. They've got it 2nd and 6 to start things out. They run again with Breida. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. So he loses 3 yards there. Now 3rd down.
If you're the coaching staff upstairs, you might want to file that play away. Do you see how fast the safety closed on that one? Coming up in run support, made a big-time tackle. Might want to try and check.
And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Marquise Goodwin with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Niners are able to cash in for 6.
I know these wide receivers are about flash and dash and high-flying plays, but a good number of them played running back at some point in their career, and that's how they finish off a lot of their big plays, run after the catch.
And this time he finishes off the big play in the end zone. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it was a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they could hold him.
On first down, it's Gurley. And some room to work. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled him up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
Another carry now for Gurley. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They run. It's Gurley. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who can do more than one thing, and I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get into that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A handoff to Breida to begin the drive. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Nikel Roby brings him down.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stop that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. He came out ready to play. That's 3 tackles for a loss, Charles. We're only in the 2nd quarter.
And that's problematic for the guys trying to run offense because that means he's got a pretty good idea of what they're doing and is actually beating them to the point of attack.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Past the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. A big play there. 79 yards. And the 49ers add on to their lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Gold now out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. And they're able to get this one across the 35. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Gurley again here on first down. Runs through the contact. And some room to roam now. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
And while there was no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop.
And look at this. It's a fake. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Akella Witherspoon. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Charles, when plays like that work, it's a thing to behold, but sometimes we see why they're very deep in the playbook.
And how many times have we been at practice and heard all the other guys chirping about, you know, I used to play quarterback in high school, I can do this, until it becomes a game situation. Not quite the same in many cases.
A good pickup there of 20 yards. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
To throw is Garoppolo. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Marcus Peters. And to the